Hi there, Ranjan Bhattacharya. I'm joined by David Sanderman, MD of EI Group, and today we're at the Property Coffee Morning. The Property Coffee Morning is a networking event. It takes place 7 times a year. It's free, you get coffee, you get to learn about property, investing, developing and auctions. And if you want to register and find out when the next event is, it's www.propertycoffeemorning.com. Now, David runs EI Group, and you guys have data for every single auction in the UK, is that right?
Yes, indeed. For the past 26 years, we've been monitoring every single property auction in the UK, or virtually every auction, and we've built up a historic database of over 800,000 lots which have been offered. That's fully searchable, and a lot of buyers use us because we also put onto the site, as soon as it comes available, every lot coming to auction. So think of us as the right move of the auction world and the land registry of the auction world. If it's been to auction, we know about it and can tell you about it.
So you got all the data basically going back. And one of the things I find very useful about your site is that you can tell if a property has bounced around from auction to auction. It's very powerful.
Indeed, it's amazing how properties, you might have, say, an area, a collection of streets, and only one street has a load of properties, and in there, in that street there'll be several which have been to auction, and one of them may have been 3 or 4 times. And of course, if you're looking at a property, it might have a guide price of, say, 200,000. You need to know what might it sell for.
Yes.
The one next door selling for 300, and the one on the other side sold at auction. That's really valuable information for you to ascertain. I can't afford that. Don't waste your money on checking the legals.
Absolutely. And now, of course, with technology, you don't have to go to the auction room because you guys are live streaming these things.
Yep. We live stream most of the auctions, and you can bid online as well if you wanted to. Although my advice to any bidder really would be, you're better bidding by telephone. It's more personal. You got a chance to say no. I don't offer 10 grand, offer 5 grand, etc. But it's there if you want it.
Now, one of the reasons I wanted to speak to you because auctions. I mean, all property investors know that the auction room acts as a barometer to what's happening in the property market. And so if you want to know what's happening or what's going to be happening in the property market, you see what's happening in the auction room. And if you want to find out what's happening in the auction room, there's no one that has more data than David. So what has been the changes that you've seen, say, through Brexit?
Well, interesting. I mean, one part before we talk about that is, the great thing about the auction market, it responds really quickly. Every auctioneer is very concerned about their sale rate. They don't want to have an auction where they don't sell any properties. And if they have an auction and the market's turned against it, and they have, say, only sell 50 or 60% of the properties, the next auction, they are going to be so keen on reserves, they're going to drive them down so that we get back up to the sort of national average, long-term average of 75% selling. And it responds really quickly to the market.
That's a very good way of looking at it. So what you're saying is every auction has to sell a certain percentage, and immediately, as soon as they have to react to news and events, they will adjust the reserve prices and the guide prices down.
To the extent that if you get 2 auctions together, say commercial auctions, and one is 2 or 3 days before the other, and the first auction has not a fantastic day and doesn't sell, the second auctioneer will be looking to see what the yields are, what price were achieved, and saying to their vendors, look, 2 days ago, this is what the market said, it's here. You either reduce the reserves or we're going to have to consider withdrawing.
It's that quick?
It's that quick. It can be within 2 days.
So an auction was yesterday and another auction house is
Whereas
is
the estate agency market takes 2 or 3 weeks. And so coming back to the Brexit question with that in mind, we found all of last year, I mean, it was bedlam leading up to the stamp duty change and then up to bedlam.
You mean bedlam meaning up?
Busy.
Everyone wanted to complete before 31st of March.
And also with Brexit, everybody thought it was going to carry on. Then after Brexit, we saw auctioneers were a little bit nervous. They got all the reserves trimmed down, and they had a result, and they sold the properties they wanted. But we saw volumes down. People weren't sure. We ended the year up, total lots offered and sold up, and the amount raised up slightly on the previous year. But we saw. But I think everybody's got over it now. We've realised that the act's going to be section's going to be, the article's going to be implemented, and to start with, the first 2 months of this year has been, up 10-15%, I think.
Volumes, or lots.
Everything, and just look at how many people in that room. You can hardly get in, like sardines in there.
That's why we're doing this out here, isn't it?
So, it seems that, again, it's a market reacting. Everything's priced accordingly. If a reserve, say, middle of last year was 250, it might be 220 today, but you're going to be in with a chance of selling. And of course, a low reserve is going to get competition in the room, and it's going to go up. I think there is actually a relationship between the lower the reserve the higher the final price, because more people want to come and buy it, because they all think the reserve is what they're going to buy it for. They get sucked in and carry on with their hand in the air until it gets too tired.
That's an interesting point. You see some of these lots on sale in London in good demand areas, and they say no reserve. And you find that 40, 50 people have come for it.
Indeed, yeah.
And it goes for twice what do you think it would go for?
Yes, indeed, yeah. So it's a strategy which is risky, but it can work in some circumstances, I think, very well.
Okay,
yeah.
Well, that's brilliant. So if you want to see more videos like this, do subscribe to our channel. You're going to see more of David at a future Property Coffee Morning or Baker Street Property Meet. So we'll leave you to watch the videos on the page, and bye for now.
And if you want to come to my site and have a look around, it's eigpropertyauctions.co.uk.
And it's a very good site indeed. If you're serious about auctions, I should have mentioned it.
Yes, you
it's
should
the
have
only
done.
site to be on. Bye for now, folks.